Good morning. If you were to give a title or a subtitle to today's gospel reading, it could easily go something like this. Gotcha, or maybe not. The Pharisees yet again throw another question at Jesus, and this time they think they got him big time. From the beginning, we know that their intentions are far from pure. They are here not to debate Jesus or to discuss with him. Matthew tells us what the reason is. The Pharisees went off and plotted how they might entrap Jesus in speech. They sent their disciples to him with the Herodians. Now you know how two-faced they are, because they first try to butter Jesus up. They say to him, "Teacher, we know that you are a truthful man, and that you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. And you are not concerned with anyone's opinion, for you do not regard any person's status." Now, Jesus is a smart person. He can see right through all of this. And the irony is this, that they do not believe what they are saying. Yet, what they are saying, in fact, is the truth about Jesus. That is who Jesus is. He teaches the ways of God, and he does not care much about what others think. So unknowingly, they tell the truth. And after all this sweet talk comes the question. Tell us then, what is your opinion? Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not? This question is supposed to have no good answer. Now, of course, at the end, Jesus does give the answer to the question. And the answer Jesus gives, to use a contemporary expression, is a mic drop answer. Nothing else needs to be added. That's it. Now, Jesus not only gives a definitive answer to the question, he also calls out the attempt to catch him in a trap at the same time. Matthew tells us, knowing their malice, Jesus said, "Why are you testing me? You hypocrites. Show me the coin that pays the census tax." To the question they pose, Jesus responds with a question. And Matthew continues, "Then they handed him a Roman coin. He said to them, 'Whose image is this and whose inscription?' They replied, 'Caesar's.'" Now, you really at this moment want to cheer for Jesus. He got them big time. Now, the Pharisees' question, as I said, is a setup question, of course. And it is about the Roman census tax. And the trap is supposed to be this. If Jesus says yes, it is lawful to pay census tax, he will put himself on the side of Rome, the oppressors and occupiers of Jewish people, and thus become a traitor of his people. Now, if, on the other hand, Jesus says no, you should not, he will clearly set himself against Roman power, making himself a rebel, a revolutionary, by opposing the tax. So it seems from the outside that there is no way out. Yet, Jesus stands everywhere. And Matthew tells us this. At that, he said to them, "Then repay to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and to God what belongs to God." Mic drop. Nothing else needs to be said. As simple as that. Trap escaped, question answered. In a way, the coin itself gives the answer of what is on the coin. But in fact, something more significant is happening here. Jesus invites those who listen to him to go deeper. It's not just about paying taxes. Jesus does not stop at repay to Caesar, but he extends this principle, adding, and repay to God what belongs to God. So the question you may ask, what belongs to God? And what for Jewish people carries the image of God? The way the coin carries the image of Caesar. Of course, we all know the answer. It's us. Human beings, created in the image and likeness of God, as the book of Genesis tells us. And thus, Jesus points out that Caesar's law and power is not absolute. The coins may be Caesar's, but we are not. And that's the deeper point. We belong to God. So Jesus has offered us and those who are listening to him a challenge. Yes, it is lawful to pay taxes. It is reasonable and understandable to live under the powers of this world. The Roman Empire is not going anywhere, and we need to learn how to live in peace with them. That's what Jesus is saying to the Pharisees and the Herodians. But with regard to human beings, we must also give to God what belongs to God. And that is our very self. And see in each other and everyone, see the image of God. To realize that at the end, we all belong to God who is love. And that's a powerful challenge that Jesus poses when he says, return to God or repay to God what belongs to God. That is to say, ourselves. And that answer to that question never stops. It's not like it's done and over. We are continually invited to return to God what belongs to God. That is to say, ourselves, and to see others as the image of God, and to see others as the ones who belong to God.